Okay, so this is aftermath after a thunderstorm that we had last night. We had a thunderstorm actually a few days ago too, and there were leaves and so forth on the deck, but we got even more so. The winds were really strong last night, so we've got to get all of this blown off the deck today after everything dries off. You can see what it even did here. And it even blew cushions. And we got to go out and trim our crepe myrtles. I got to deadhead these today too. I don't know if I can. I got to snip that off. It's still this I can pull off, but this I will have to break that off with some scissors. I'll show you our crepe myrtle. It's really grown in the last couple days, this particular branch and this one here. Just in the last couple days. I mean, I was out here a couple days ago and this was up, but now it's hanging down in our way, so we've got to snip off. This is new growth, and snip off these. I don't know, I'm going to try snipping off this first. Maybe it'll be enough to pull this up, but if these are hanging down, I'm going to have to cut them off. And you can see the new buds growing for the flowers, and they're over here on this one too and over there. But see, this is what they do. When I told you they'll cascade down, and even lower branches will do it. So we're going to have to trim this back. And before I show Jenny those Patriot hostas, because they're opening up, I'm going to show you guys the garden. We may hear some morning traffic because it's early in the morning, so it's still rush hour. All of this grass growing here was actually small like that a couple weeks ago. And you know, even with your lawn, if you let your lawn go a couple weeks without doing anything. And the reason why I haven't done anything, I've let grass grow. Look at that grass. That's probably, I don't know, three to 4 weeks worth. When I was out here a couple weeks ago, it was a little bit high like this. Now it's like that. But, and there's weeds growing, like these things here are weeds. Okay. So why does my garden look like this? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Here's some beans. There's some beans there. These are wild tomatoes that grew in here. Here's wild tomatoes. Those, like I said, those are weeds. And then grass. I've come out here to, and I have no makeup on. It's really early in the morning. I've come out here to do my weeding and so forth. But I think I mentioned in one of my vlogs that I noticed that my garden wasn't doing well and things were dying. And I knew that I was going to have to get the garden tilled under. I was going to have my son do it Monday, but it was really hot. It was like 91, but it had a high heat index. Yesterday, Tuesday, it was the same. So he's back at work the rest of the week, so I'm going to have to wait. I'm having my son Adam come back out here with the tiller. He's going to till all of this under, every bit of it, all of it. And then we'll have to get out here with the landscaping rake while he's tilling things and try to rake up all these plants and just everything that's grown and bag it all and throw it out. When I first planted the garden, and you guys saw, I had like 2 rows of peppers. You can see I have this plant and this plant that's doing well. That one, it's got little peppers on it, but it's not doing very well. You can see it. All the other peppers have all dried up. All of this in here, all the way over here and over here, because you can see where there were beans. All of this was beans. And I told you guys I bought everything by plants at Lowe's this year. I will not do that again. Not at Lowe's anyway. Because Lowe's, something was wrong with those plants, and probably the seeds that those people used, whatever greenhouse that Lowe's was working with, that nursery or whatever, the seeds that they had were bad seeds, because you can see the grass, you can see weeds. They've grown and they're nice and green and luscious, and we've had lots of rain. Plus, you see my sprinkler, because when we don't get rain, we come out here and we water. We stopped watering a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to tell you why. This garden was planted in mid-May. See across the street there, all that corn? That corn was planted, I think, 2 weeks after we put our corn in. And of course, we put it in by plant. Let's go look at the corn. Here's my herbs. Look at even my herbs. Look at that. That thing's completely dead. I got all my herbs also over at Lowe's. That dill's looking okay, but I planted this dill over a month ago. You know how big that thing should be by now? The same with this Italian parsley, this basil. It should be big and luscious. These are herbs, all in here except for this. This is a weed, I gotta get out of here. But all of this is herbs. This is all herbs that I had planted a couple years ago, because some herbs are perennials, they keep coming back. Okay, these didn't die. These are all still alive. We've had plenty of rain. We've watered the garden. So why did not my plants grow? Before I get over to the corn, look at these. These are tomatoes. And these tomato plants are the same size as when I bought them and put them in. Look at this one. This was one of those bigger ones. It might have grown about this much. But look at this. Look how sickly it is. Okay, so let's go over to the corn. This corn, and that one over there are really about the only ones that have grown. We planted this corn mid-May. When we bought the corn was this high. I think we actually had corn. Here's another corn. Look at that. See that? But we had a couple rows. We had corn in here. All the corn, that's corn. See how it all shriveled up? This corn was planted about a week, 2 weeks before that corn over there. You see that? And I don't want to hear fertilize. I fertilized. I put compost in last year. You're supposed to really only put compost in every other year. And guess what? Over there at that cornfield over there, they didn't put no compost down. I watch these people as they plant. They didn't put no compost down over there. That corn's thriving. And it's thriving off of the rain that we have. Plus, they don't have a sprinkling system over there to water their garden when it needs it. So, this is it. Here's cucumbers. That's completely dead. That's doing nothing. We had watermelon. We had cantaloupe. Some of that's all gone. So, see, that's what I'm saying. When I saw everything dying, I just didn't bother to come out here anymore to weed or anything, because it was a waste of my time. I knew I was going to have to get rid of the garden. The only reason why this garden hasn't been tilled under before now, and not just from yesterday or today, I was going to have my son do it. I actually wanted him to do it before, but my husband kept saying, let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. I said, give it a chance for what? Everything is dying. Only my yellow squash and my zucchini squash has done well. That's it. Well, all my purple blooms are off this plant, and it doesn't look like any new ones grow. I wonder if this is just like a spring, summer, and once they bloom, that's it. But I gotta deadhead all these, and my ferns didn't really grow too much because these plants really took off. I think what I'm gonna do in the fall, I'm gonna take these ferns and I'm gonna transplant them back over to my little happy place. And this is doing very well. And I came out here to show Jenny the blooms. We had some rain last night, so you can see the raindrops on there, but these are those Patriot hostas. And the reason why these are hanging way down, because there was rain. So once the sun dries all that rain up, they'll stand up straight. Good morning, my friends. Well, Well, I've started a couple vlogs, but then I never finished them. And the reason why, it's the same as every summer. I get busy doing things, and you know, I don't pick up the camera and record everything that I'm doing. You know, especially when it's cleaning and outside work. I mean, who wants to keep seeing that over and over again, right? But I will give you some updates. First of all, I'm going to get my hair done today. That's where I'm driving to. And Harry has been on vacation. This week we were going to go to the beach, but we can't because he's got a very bad knee. Now, it started about a month and a half ago. He got this lump on the back of his knee that was just killing him. He went to the doctor, and after a few days, and the doctor said it was a Baker's cyst. And he said sometimes they go away on their own. Sometimes you need it drained. See how it goes for, you know, a couple weeks. Well, he had to go out of town. He went to North Carolina for 2 weeks. So the first week that he went to North Carolina, it was hurting really, really bad. The second week that he went, he actually had to go to the emergency room. They gave him all kinds of real strong pain meds, crutches, and everything. So when he came back, he had to go see a specialist. I guess it's like the orthopedic doctor. I guess they do the knees too. And so he went to see him, had to get some x-rays done, and he does not have a Baker's cyst. And that is something to do with like fatty cells or something, and it ruptures. That's what that is. He has something different. I forget the technical name, but pretty basically what it amounts to is it's arthritis in the knee that's due from injuries. And when he played football in high school, he had hurt that knee. He had a bad knee injury. And of course, you know, now he's older and arthritis has set in, and it's something to do with the arthritis and the ligament that's in the knee. Anyway, the doctor sent him for an MRI, which he's got to get done Monday. That's the soonest they could get him in. And determining on what that says, and most likely, Harry will be having knee surgery. So depending on how long the heal-up time is and everything, you know, I don't know when they'll be able to do the surgery, number one, then the healing time. Anyway, he was supposed to go to South Africa in early autumn. Remember, I was telling you, and I was going to go with them. Two things on that. Depending on the surgery, the healing time or whatever, see, some of his jobs that he's supposed to be going on are going to be canceled. And if he's not healed up in time, you know, for the South Africa trip, you know, he might not even be able to go to that. And as far as me going to South Africa, I was looking so forward to it. I want to go until I found out how much plane tickets are. If you sit in coach, the plane tickets are like $2,500. But Harry said for a 16, almost 17-hour flight, he said you do not want to sit in coach because he's done international traveling. And he says, coach, you do not want to be in coach. It's very uncomfortable. You can't stretch your legs and things like that. He says you really need to be in business class. The business class tickets, and see, Harry's work pays for him to go because it's work, he's doing business. But I have to pay for mine. And those tickets are like $5,000. And I told Harry, I'm like, $5,000? We took our entire family, when Joe got married last year, we took everybody to Disney World. For about like $8,000. I said, you know, that you could almost do a whole family vacation somewhere for $5,000, and that would just be for my ticket. Then, you know, I'm going to be going there. Obviously, I'm going to want to do some shopping, bring souvenirs back for ourselves, for our kids, like for Christmas gifts and things like that. So you got to think of all the other money you're going to be spending on top of it. I told Harry, I said, I don't think so. So I got a different idea of what I'm going to do if I don't go to South Africa. We'll see about that. But if I don't go to South Africa, there's 2 other trips that I'm going to be doing with Harry. So anyway, I'm at the hair salon. I'm sitting in the parking lot. Okay, so I'm on my way back home now, and I'm trying to remember where I left off. What I was telling you, I was talking about South Africa. I was telling you about what I might do instead. I mentioned that my husband was supposed to be going to Arizona, and I'm thinking still about going there. And then my husband has a lot of time off in December for Christmas into the new year, and so I'm thinking about some of that time of going to Florida and going to Tampa. I like Tampa, Clearwater, and hanging out at the beach for a while. And then obviously going to Florida, you know that I'm going to Disney World, and then doing like we did last December. They got all their Christmas decorations up and that sort of thing, and so just me and him, nobody else. He doesn't want no kids coming with us or anything, because see, that's what happens. Our kids find out, we're going to Florida, and then they want to come with us, but my husband's like, let's just have vacation, just you and me. So I'm thinking about doing those two things. And then my husband's got a Chicago trip coming up. I don't know if I'm going to go on that. I haven't been back to Chicago since we moved, and where he's going to be staying, he's going to be right downtown anyway. So I'm thinking maybe, we'll see how that goes. My son and daughter-in-law, they're moving at the end of the month, and we all got to be around to help them move. And the baby is due in September. She's in her last trimester now, so we've got that coming up, helping them move. And we're gonna go out and help them do some baby shopping, furniture and things like that. And then again, it depends too, Chicago, because I think that was like sometime this summer, late summer or whatever, that job. It's going to depend on his surgery, so that will depend if I obviously will go on that trip too. And let's see, what else can I tell you? That's an update. Well, so obviously Harry and I didn't make it to the beach this week that he's been on vacation, because he can barely walk. He's in a lot of pain. So my daughter is off on vacation next week, or she starts actually today at 2 o'clock, she said. She leaves work at 2. And so her and I are thinking about going to the beach one day on her vacation. So we'll see how it all works out. Other than that, I don't know what else is going on. It's a beautiful day. I am almost home. I am coming up the street here to where the house is.